Now, this week marks 1 year since the fire at First Baptist Dallas. The 4-alarm fire partially destroyed the church's 133-year-old historic sanctuary building. That was on July 19th. Now, since then, it's been a year of restoring and rebuilding. Senior Pastor Dr. Robert Jeffries and Dr. Ben Lavorne are joining us. Thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. You know, I really want to talk about how is the church community doing? I mean, with all of the rebuilds.
Well, we're alive and well and thriving. And you know, Peyton, it was a devastating fire that affected not just the historic sanctuary, but really all 6 blocks of downtown Dallas that we occupy. And it's been a year of inconvenience and dislocation for our people, but they've weathered that. Most of that is behind us now. In fact, we took a picture just a few weeks after that fire of our members out in front of the historic sanctuary, and we had the caption, "We are First Baptist Dallas." It was our way of saying thank you to the city of Dallas and Fort Worth for their support, but also to remind them that the church ultimately is not brick and mortars. It's about people united in love and commitment to share the good news of Christ.
You know, sometimes in difficulties like that, I feel like that's when people really do come together and kind of, you know, join together. Tell me a little bit, have you been facing any roadblocks in the rebuild, things that you maybe didn't expect?
Well, I'm going to let Ben talk about the new worship center that we're so excited about. We have one obstacle that we talked about this weekend, and that's the insurance company. And we're negotiating with them. So far, they haven't offered what they're contractually obligated to offer. We're not asking them to do any favors for us. We want them to meet their commitment to meet the cost of rebuilding that historic sanctuary as is. We don't want to Target box store look. We want to recreate the beauty of that church that has been part of Dallas for 138 years. But Ben has the plans about the new church that I think the whole city will be excited about.
We are excited about really a reimagined sanctuary right there in the heart of downtown Dallas, where we've been for 155 years. And it incorporates the exterior walls that are still standing. We've worked diligently to preserve those over the last year. We have a plan to restore those, including the historic materials, the intricate stonework, really character-defining elements. And in the interior of the sanctuary, we've got a design that is based on a 1908 version of our historic sanctuary. But we're not only looking to the past, we're also preparing for the future. So the new structure will include additional community space, a new multi-purpose venue where we can host all kinds of events and things that will really serve as a monument to God's goodness to our church over the last year.
That's right, and we're not asking the insurance company to pay for those things that we're going to improve. We're doing that. We want them to meet their contractual obligation of paying for what was lost. But if there's one message I'd like to have to the Metroplex now is First Baptist Dallas is alive and well, and it's ready to minister to the needs of those who want to know Christ as Savior.
And it sounds like so many wonderful new projects are in the works, along with, you know, salvaging some of the history and kind of what makes you who you are. When projected end date? I mean, there's a lot going on.
There is, and so many people have spiritual milestones that have been tied to that church. Both Dr. Jeffers and I grew up in the church. Our families have been there for generations. And we hope to break ground in January of this year on the new project. That means that we're looking at a completion date of Easter of 2028. So it's a long process, but as the pastor said, our church is alive and well, and we are fully operational. In fact, we have 1,500 children there today at Vacation Bible School.
That's right. Yeah, and the good thing people may not realize is this was our historic sanctuary that we used for chapel. We had a new worship center that we opened about 13 years ago, and if God hadn't led us to build that new worship center, we would be homeless today as a church. So worship, everything is going full steam ahead right now.
Well, I'm glad that, you know, works are underway. It seems like a plan is ahead of you. I know y'all thank the firefighters who, you know, were helping out and making sure that certain parts of that building were also saved and salvaged. Thank you both for being here with us and sharing kind of part of the journey. And I'm sure we'll be checking in on you constantly as the journey continues on ahead.
Thanks, Peyton.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Stick with us.